says, politics runs deep here in the city of Pembroke. As Johnny said, his father was our first minority council member. And I'll say this about Mr. Jean. He used to stay up at the post office, the old post office. And if he heard something that he thought that we needed to know at the city, he'd beat it over there to City Hall, and he'd come in there, he said, I heard this, you know, we need to look into that. And I say, yes, sir. And one thing that he did, and he instilled in me, was always be truthful with your answers. If somebody asks you something, it might not be what they want to hear, but as politicians, we don't need to promise the sun, the moon, and the stars, because sooner or later it will come back to bite us. But again, on behalf of the City Council, I'd like to welcome you, and I think it's fantastic with the turnout that we have here tonight, and I appreciate the candidates coming for you to ask them the questions and help us make an informed decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Cook. And y'all know this race is very important to the City Council, because we're just in the process of purchasing the old Bryan County High School. Am I right? Elementary school. Yeah, it used to be high school and everything too. So the board and the city have been working together for years, and we provide police protection and crossing guards and all that for the board of education and everything. But at this time, we'd like for our candidates to stand up for a minute and introduce themselves, and then after that, I'm gonna turn it over to Reverend Boyd for our session. Okay, we'll start now. Yes, you can if you want to. Yes, ma'am. Be good. No, you can come up here. I didn't roll it all the way out there for nothing.
All right.
And the cameraman needs to.
Hi there, I'm Karen Krupp, and I'm running for school board vice chair. I moved here to Richmond Hill in Bryan County 9 years ago. My children, I have a 5th grader, a 7th grader, and a 9th grader, all in Bryan County schools. And I started getting involved in Bryan County schools at that point, from volunteering, being room mom, PTSO. I've done treasurer, secretary, president in that. I've been on a parent advisory for Richmond Hill Elementary, and just been involved in the schools. And with that, I have found out that Joe Pacinka was not running for school board, so I decided to kind of step up and be involved even more, and so running for school board. I just want to be an advocate, a liaison for the parents and the teachers and the taxpayers of Bryan County. And that's why I'm running for school board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming out. I know the weather is not going to be as compliant as we would want it to be, but in South Georgia in July, this is what you get. My name's Audrey Singleton. I know several of you in the room. Several of you I have not met, so I see this as an opportunity to share a little bit about myself. I have been married to a wonderful man for 29 years. After I graduated from college, I moved to Richmond Hill 29 plus years ago. I moved before I got married. I moved before I needed a school system. I moved before I had children. I moved to Bryan County to put my stamp on the county. I am originally from McIntosh County. I hold a degree in dental hygiene, so I cleaned teeth for many, many, many years for a dentist. But when I found myself needing child care when we had our first child, Richmond Hill didn't quite have what I was looking for, so I took it upon myself to start a child care center. And I have owned and operated the Richmond Hill Montessori Preschool for 22 years. And I'm proud to say tonight that we just received, as of Friday, the highest level of quality education in the early childhood education arena in the entire state of Georgia under the new rating system. I stand for quality education. I stand for parents. I stand for teachers. I advocate for children all the time. I feel that it's my time to give back my talents, and my expertise on the local level to get our school systems back to what they were. Thank you for having us.
Mr. Johnson, I want you to do one thing, because a lot of people, this is the question that popped up on me later on. Some people say they don't know what a solicitor is. Okay, so
That's fine. Every forum that we've been to, I don't know if this is number 4 or number 5, whenever one of us goes first, has always had to explain what the Solicitor General is, so I'm prepared. Solicitor General is the prosecutor for the state court. Many of you know what the district attorney is. The district attorney prosecutes felonies. The state court only handles misdemeanors. It handles misdemeanors that come from the Sheriff's Department, Georgia State Patrol, DNR. It also handles misdemeanors that start out in the city of Richmond Hill or the city of Pembroke. If someone wants a jury trial, it goes up to state court, and the solicitor is responsible for prosecuting those cases. So that's a Solicitor General. All right, me, my name's Andrew Johnson. I moved to Bryan County when I graduated from University of Georgia School of Law in 2006. I'm married. I have a 2-year-old little boy. I have another boy coming on August 30th. So believe you me, my wife is very happy that this election season is about to be over, because I got a nursery I got to get ready. I got a lot of work to do at home. She's been very supportive, but she's ready for me to get home. Councilman mentioned the apathy that's up here with the elections. I'm the immediate past chairman of the Bryan County Board of Elections. Elections are something that I take very seriously and I'm very passionate about. And that's something, you know, I was trying to work on with the board, is trying to get more people involved and get them into the elections. When this position came up, I regretfully had to resign from that position in order to run for this. But I encourage everyone to get out and vote, and I've always done that. And, right now, would you believe, I think 62 people in the north end of the county have voted early versus about 600 on the south end. So I just would like to see people go out to vote. I hope all you here go out to vote. We got early voting the next 2 days, next 3 days. I forgot what day of the week it was. And then Tuesday is election day. So go out and vote, tell your friends to vote, do all that. First, what I bring to the position, in the last 10 years, I've been a judge, a prosecutor, and defense attorney. I've handled criminal cases in 19 Georgia counties, and as far as I can figure, about 40 different Georgia courts. I know what it takes to get the job done. I know what it takes to prosecute a case. I know what it takes to get it done right. Public service is something that I've always held near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I'm immediate past chairman of the Bryan County Board of Elections. I'm also currently the public defender for the city of Richmond Hill and the city of Hinesville. I always knew I wanted to give back to the community. I was looking for a way to do that. And when I found out that this position was open, it seemed like the perfect way to put my training, knowledge, and experience to work for you, the citizens of Bryan County.
My name is Tom Montgomery. Nice to meet you all. Thank you all for coming out. This election in my race basically comes down to who are you going to turn over your courthouse to, and the protection of your community, your people, your kids. And in my election, experience matters has been my calling card from the beginning. I have the ability to take a case from the street all the way to a jury trial, which is something that most people can't say. I was a police officer for 10 years. I was a street officer for 10 years. And that kind of gives me an insight into how to handle a criminal case that other people don't have. I see what police do right. I also can see what police do wrong in a case. I can sit down and talk to a police officer on a different level than someone that's never done the job before. Now, the reason I went to law school, I got frustrated with the system. I would go to court every day. I would see the same people over and over and over again. They would get punished, they would come back. They would get punished, they would come back. It wasn't helping anybody. It was hurting people. It was hurting the system. It was hurting the person that kept coming back in. It was costing everybody a lot of money. So one day I went home and I told my family, I'm frustrated as a police officer. I'm going to go to law school and I'm going to try to make a difference. And my family said, are you really sure you want to do that? Well, I went to law school, and as soon as I got out, I became a professional prosecutor. That was my first job. I met my wife my very first day in the professional prosecutor's office. We were a trial team, and we eventually got married. And if y'all look at the handouts, you can see we have 3 little boys, 2 5-year-olds that just turned 6 today, and a 2-year-old that turned 3 on the 11th. So I've got my hands full at home. But the point of my platform is I've worked with diversion programs from the beginning of my prosecution career. And what I mean by that is if you keep bringing people into the court and all you do is punish them, you're punishing everybody. You're punishing the person, you're punishing the court system, you're punishing the taxpayers. What needs to happen is the courts need to help people solve the problems that are causing them to come in the court system in the first place. That doesn't work for everybody. You can't solve everybody's problems, but you have to try. So the idea is if you come into court and you have something, let's say you're a military veteran and you have PTSD, and that caused you to get in trouble with the police. Well, how about we treat the PTSD so you don't come into the court system anymore? Or let's say you come into court and your problem, you have a drinking problem, but the drinking problem isn't caused because you drink too much. The drinking problem is caused because you have some other issue that's causing you to drink. Well, how about we solve that issue? Maybe you need a job. Maybe you need a GED. Maybe you need help with your substance abuse issue. How about we fix the problem that caused you to come into the court system? That way, it doesn't cost the court system anymore. The person is back to being a productive citizen. And here's the thing, that I've been doing this long enough with these diversion programs that I've seen where someone has come back to me 5, 6, 7 years later, and they come up to me and they say, that program that you put me in changed me. And then I went home and my cousins and my uncles and my nieces saw me have a better life. So then they went and tried to change their life, and it just snowballed and spread out, and it can make changes. Now, I'm not here to say that that's going to work and it's going to change the world, but you have to start somewhere. You know, if you can change 2, 3 out of 10 people, you will make a difference in the community. And it saves taxpayer money, it saves the court system, and it saves families. So that's my platform. But there's another part to that too. In Bryan County, this is a one-person job. The person that the people of Bryan County choose to do this job has to do this job by themselves. They must make the decisions to prosecute a case or not prosecute a case. They have to decide this case doesn't need to go to court. And they have to be able to stand up and tell people, no, officer, this case doesn't need to go to court. This case is not right for prosecution. But then there are times when the person does have to be prosecuted, and somebody's got to get up and get in front of a group of people or a judge and prove to that person that this person does need to be punished. And that's where I have an advantage, because I have done over 20 jury trials in my career as a professional prosecutor. I've prosecuted over 5,000 cases in 8 different jurisdictions. I've had 8 different jurisdictions ask me to come in and be their part-time prosecutor or their full-time prosecutor over my career. And ultimately, the one thing that I bring to the table is I've already prosecuted for the people of Bryan County. I was asked to come in and back up the current prosecutor and fill in as the prosecutor when he was out sick or he had something else that he needed to do, or if he had a conflict where he couldn't handle the case. So I already know the court system up here. I've already been serving the people of Bryan County and the people of Pembroke, and I'm just asking that I get people put in that job in a full-time capacity. So thank you all for coming out tonight. Okay?